Hi and welcome to JRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. I'm just going to do a review on the Multiplex Gemini. Now, I've had this plane for quite some time and it's been a mixed bag for me, and the only reason I'm doing it now is current because they've brought out the What's What biplane, and this is quite similar to that, I think. That's probably the only reason I wouldn't get the What's What biplane is because I already have this. I bought it as the kit and put it together myself. It's typical multiplex. You put the two fuselage halves together, it all goes together very well, no issues whatsoever. Now, when I first got this, I bought it with the power plant that they suggested, and the first time I flew it, and the first few times I flew it, I actually didn't like it at all. I just wasn't impressed with it. You couldn't even pull a loop with it because it just didn't have the guts to go round. And I know people have said in the past, oh, you know, it's scale and that's how it's supposed to fly. I don't subscribe to all that. I wanted a plane that will go vertical ultimately, and it doesn't have to go vertical out of sight, but I need vertical performance so that I can do nice smooth manoeuvres, whether that be loops, squares, you know, vertical figure of eights, whatever. I always like to have plenty of power. So I put in it a uprated motor that I had, which was actually for the Multiplex Acromaster, and this thing went ballistic. So much so that it actually burnt out the speed controller, went full down elevator, lost all control, smashed into the ground and smashed into what I thought was a million pieces. But as it happens, the canopy flew off, the battery cover flew off, and the whole thing snapped clean in half. Beauty of Elapor, a little bit of super glue, you can see a scar there, that's where it broke in half. A little bit of super glue, bit of fettlin, all the bits back together, and it's back flying perfectly. And I've now installed, it's actually a motor from an Acrowatt Foamy. Gives really good performance, good vertical performance, but not super ballistic, but well within the abilities of a 40 amp plus speed controller. Works absolutely fine. I'm just noticing here I've got the original plastic mount on this, and I know a lot of people upgrade to the metal aluminium mount. I do have one actually that looks like it would fit this, but to be honest, I've not had any problems with vibration with this, and the mount is well secure in there. I've not had any issues with it whatsoever, so I've got no reason to change it. The only issue I have really is the undercarriage is very weak, and it does gradually splay out, so you do have to sort of bend it back a little bit. It is slightly too weak. I guess you could brace it a little bit. It's not a major deal, but it is a slight weak point when it comes into land. Sometimes it can just sort of and splat, but it's certainly not a deal breaker when it comes to this plane, and it could easily be rectified. I just haven't bothered because it's not that much of a problem to me. It's just something that I thought I'd point out. I'm running this on all absolute cheapo Tower Pro micro 9-gram servos all round, so I've got 4 of those in there, and I've not had any issues. These are the original ones I put in. The only thing that I've done over time is added a little bit of glue if they start to move or anything, but they work absolutely fine. They're positive, they're powerful enough, they never stall. No problems with them at all. So for less than, I think you can pick up 4 of these for about maybe $10-12, so putting this together, it can be a very cheap aeroplane if you wish. Now, I did have some issues flying this, and it balanced okay, and I kept flying it, and I was like, oh, I still don't like it, even with the power, it still doesn't feel right. And it was my dad actually said to me, stick some weight on it, and I don't like adding weight to my planes at all. I just don't like doing it. And in the end I succumbed and said, okay, I'll try, and added a little bit of weight, and it seemed to improve it. Added a bit more, seemed to improve it, and I ended up with a whole strip of lead. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 grams of lead on the nose, but it flies absolutely fantastic. Easily get 8 to 10 minutes flight time out of it, off a 2200 3-cell battery pack. Sparkling performance, the roll rate is phenomenal. You can have it as fast as you want, but with a bit of expo and slow down a bit on a nice calm evening, this is a great little thing to just poodle around, do nice slow lower aerobatics, absolutely lovely. Handles the wind, no problem at all. Knife edge, beautiful 4-point rolls. Quite often I find with biplanes is when you do a point roll, they act a bit like a plane with dihedral. In the last point they tend to roll out, but this one, it really locks in. It sort of almost flies like I'd say more like an ultimate biplane than anything else. So very, very locked in feel to it. But overall, a nice, I never take the wings off this. I think I've actually glued them on because when I broke it, I remember trying to get them off and wondering why I undid the screw and I couldn't get the wing off. I've actually glued the wing on this because you can get to your radio on the hatch there, you can get to your speed controller motor through the battery cover, so really there's no need to get the wing off. So I actually glued it on, and it obviously fits in the back of the car, no problem whatsoever. It looks good in the sky. I mean, this one is battered, bruised, it's well used, but I would say out of all my planes that I have at the moment, it is probably, let me try and think, I'd say it's my favourite plane that I have at the moment. The Waterfall Foamy comes close second, just for a fun plane, but overall, flying, this is definitely my most favourite plane. It's the one I always sort of grab, and if I'm taking something else, I think, I'll just pop the Gemini in as well. It's very difficult for me not to take this with me when I go flying, and I think that says a lot about it. But all I would say is, as a caveat to that, is if you're going to get one of these, set up, power, and weight. The balance of it is key, because those things, I was at the point of actually selling this, especially with the motor it come with. I was like really disappointed with the performance, and I was going to sell it, and I thought, I'll just try it because I happened to have one, tried a bigger motor, and it just transformed it into a beautiful flying machine. So there you go. This is my thoughts on the lovely little Multiplex Gemini. This is GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. I'll see you soon. Bye.